I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. If you like the following video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. After having just enjoyed 4 great nights at Yallakar in Victoria, we're now heading for Berri in the Riverland of South Australia. And that was going to be some 367 kilometres for the day, and it was a perfect day as we hit the road. After leaving Yallakar, it wasn't very long when we were back on the bitumen and made our way into Edenhope. And once at Edenhope, we emptied the toilet on the caravan and did all the necessary things that we had to do there, and then started to head in towards Berri. From Edenhope we headed north up to Coniva, and hopefully I've pronounced Coniva right, and there we refueled for the first time on the trip, and it was actually the only time. And as things are going, fuel's starting to get very expensive, but if you want to travel, you've just got to grin and bear it. From Coniva we headed to Border Town, and it was only just on the Coniva side of Border Town that we were pulled into this fruit fly inspection area that they had set up on one of the parking bays or side roads here. These people have got a job to do, and it's a necessary job that must be done, but they're pretty thorough in what they do. But as long as you've got all your fruit and veg that you were supposed to cart and not the wrong stuff, they let you through without any issues. Once we'd gone through Border Town, now heading back towards Adelaide, we do this right-hand turn here and we start heading north once again. And this road will take us up through to Pinaroo, Loxton, and then finally on to Berri. Sometimes not a real lot to see along this road, but it is heading north along the border. Well, not very far from the Victorian-South Australian border, and maybe one day we might come back and do that border track without the caravan. After a pleasant trip up from Edenhope, we were soon in Berri at the Caravan Park. Yeah, good morning everyone, it's Friday morning, and we're currently here at the Berri Caravan Park, and that's right alongside the river. The river's up nice and high, and still to come up higher yet, but very nice down here on the side of the River Murray at the moment. The water's like glass. We got here yesterday, a little bit of rain yesterday afternoon, about 28 points I think it was, and we're here for the caravan get together, the Traveller Caravan Club, so it's the second one we'll be attending, and yeah, no, showers on and off all weekend, but hopefully that won't disappoint anyone. It's not until you start to get higher up into the sky where you can view across the waterway here that you really start to appreciate the flooding that the Murray's starting to experience. And the drone's directly up above from the caravan park here, and this is the boat ramp area straight across the road from the caravan park now, and this little green area here of lawn section, we were watching that all the time while we were at Berri, and the water was getting higher and higher, and naturally that green section was getting smaller and smaller. All the reports that we were hearing that the flooding up in Echuca and Moama in the upper parts of the River Murray system, that was at its worst at the moment, and it was going to take approximately 4 weeks for that water to come down and reach the Riverland in South Australia. So when that gets here, the expected water level, I'm not real sure, but no doubt all this green area here, that'll all be underwater. The native wildlife certainly appreciating a good wet season and the flooding, and a lot of young ones about. The Berri Caravan Park's a very big caravan park, lush green lawns, nice green trees. It's quite a picturesque place to stay at. And we were booked in here for 4 nights, and no doubt as time goes it'll get busier and busier, but it's got everything that you would ever want as a family or a group, and that's the reason we were here as a group, so the facilities were terrific. There are 2 swimming pools here, the small one and the bigger one here. The park has its own kiosk and coffee shop, and I'm not quite sure what days that's open. I think they do pizzas in the wood-fired pizza ovens 2 nights a week, but don't quote me on that. And here's the pizza ovens here. Because we were a group booking and we had an itinerary set out, there was no need to work out when they were and weren't open to the public. But no, they've got everything that you want, mini golf course, you name it, it's there. As a drone flies over the caravan sites within the Berri Caravan Park, it's quite easily seen how green it is, and plenty of trees for shade during the summer period, but certainly a nice, well laid out caravan park. Now looking from the front of the caravan park as we move towards the rear of the park, and it's right up at the back of this part of the park that they've got their unpad sites for camping. Now showing some of the many barbecues within the area, and these here are right alongside the camp kitchen that we're looking at now. It's a very big camp kitchen, all the facilities that you would want, and plenty of tables and chairs to sit down and eat if you wanted to eat there as well. There was a number of these barbecues with little shelters over them throughout the park. The site that we had was the one along the road here, and that's the main road that you come into to go to the caravan park, but oh, what a view. There were plenty of cabins throughout the park, and they catered for individual cabins or for groups, and it was great to see that a caravan park had the cabins set out in such a way that they didn't dominate the caravan park, pushing the caravanners out. From Berri we headed back towards Loxton, and this is not very far now away from Berri, and if you knew what you were looking at you could probably see the township of Berri in most of these drone shots, but it certainly shows the flooding that the Murray is causing within the area, and as mentioned before, no doubt the water's coming up a lot higher, so the flooding will certainly increase out across the land. We did hear while we're at Berri that this main road here that we're going over now, flying over the top of, eventually will be flooded and the road will be closed, but whether that does happen or not, we're not quite sure. As we were near Lock 4 on the River Murray, we thought we'd go down and have a look at the lock, and when I was down there I asked what I think was a lock master, fella coming in on one of the little aluminium boats there to the lock terminal. I asked him how high he thought the water was going to get, and all the reports that obviously he would have heard, but he was non-committal. The answer was, how long's a piece of string? And I guess he's right, it's very unknown, but it is predicted to get up a lot higher than what it is at the moment, and as we fly over the lock here now, you can see the water just trickling or rushing over the top of the lock wall. Out of all the locks on the River Murray system, I'm going to talk of South Australia here. It's a credit to the people that work there in the way that they maintain the grounds and the buildings. They're always neat and tidy, well presented, and always green. From Lock 4, it was back into Berri, and now we had a bit of a look around the town, and we wanted to go to an electrical shop and have a look at a couple of home appliances. Something that we don't really get in Adelaide now is any shops that specifically work with electrical appliances. It's always in the bigger outlets, Harvey Normans and JB Hi-Fis and the likes, but it was nice to have a bit of a look around at Berri at the same time.
To straighten up my bones and be a man. I gotta tear this wall apart to let you in. My friends say the time's running out, so take the chance. Make a move, cause the store won't stay open.
Like most country towns along the River Murray system, plenty of green lawns.
Won't you tear my world apart? 'Cause I know I need a start to let you in. When it's over, I will see.
While we were at Berri, we took the opportunity to go into the information centre and see if we could find out a bit of information regarding the hiring of houseboats within the area. But unfortunately there was no houseboat hirers that work out of Berri. The closest one to the area was Renmark. We go on that biannual houseboat holiday that we've been going on for the last 6 years, and we thought maybe Berri might be an option, but unfortunately no houseboats moving out of there. With our afternoon drive now complete, it was back to the Berri Caravan Park, where we spent the remainder of the afternoon and just sitting down and relaxing at the caravan park.
Inside my head, and I can't stop thinking about what you said. I gotta tear my wall apart, and it's the only way to start to let.
The next morning, it was a quick walk around on the lawned area across from the caravan park at the boat ramp, and have a look and see how much the water had come up. Some people had been putting sticks there as markers, something that I think I should have done just to get a reference point. And here's Mum and Dad with the little ducks, and 19 little ducks I counted here, so what a life.
Right in, 'cause I need a start to let you in.
The reason that brought us to the Berri Caravan Park on this trip was the South Australian Travellers Spring get-together of the Traveller Caravan Owners, and amongst that there was a total of 89 vans that were here at the event. Through the efforts of one person, there was 53 raffle prizes that we're going to be giving away during the stay here, and that's a bit of a pan around of some of the prizes here now. There were 68 caravans from South Australia, 13 from Victoria, 4 from New South Wales, 2 from Queensland, and 1 each from Western Australia and Tasmania that attended the event. The caravan park had the facilities that we needed for a group of this size, but there were some extra marquees that were put up to try and help with the rain should it come, and we did have a little bit of rain during the event, but nothing that really spoiled it. main group had the official welcoming messages and so on the lawned area just outside or alongside of the kiosk and coffee shop. On the Saturday for the lunch, the Lions Club of the area put on a picnic lunch for us, and that was well catered for. It's something, first time they've done something as large as what they catered for here today. I was honoured to be the guest speaker for the event on the Saturday, and I gave a quick discussion on how caravans and trucks can share the road safely. There were 2 Tech Talk discussions during the event, and the first one here, Elite Mobile Caravan Service, and here's Peter giving his talk on maintaining caravans and the best way to do it. The second Tech Talk was done by Matt, and he's from Extreme Auto Caravan and Camping, and he's the expert when it comes to installing off-grid systems with lithium batteries to go free camping. I'll put both the Tech Talk people's information in the video description down below should you ever want to contact them. On the Saturday night, most of the group had pizzas cooked in these wood-fired ovens, and there was approximately 170 pizzas cooked that night. Out of the 53 raffle prizes for the event, Sally and I were lucky enough to win this first aid kit from Safety Dave's. On the Sunday morning it was a bacon and egg breakfast, and this was catered by the people of the Caravan Park, as was the wood-fired barbecues. It doesn't matter how big or how small any event can be, but this one was quite large, and this is some of the group that was still here, and this one was taken in between some rain showers, so not everyone was here of course, but there's always a number of volunteers, and it all is run by volunteers, these events, and without their efforts it just would not succeed. It was now Sunday afternoon, and in between the sunshine and the showers it was time for another walk to go across near the boat ramp and have a look what the water was doing. I may not have had a stick in the ground to check when the water was rising and how much by, as other people have been doing, but it was quite obvious at this point in time that the water level had risen substantially from what it was when we got here the other day. The garden seat here now has got water up to it, and when you look up in the top right hand corner, that's where it was the other day when we arrived in Berri. Very hard to pick it in the camera here, but this is a bit of a backwater at the boat ramp, and you can see the top 2 corners there of the video screen. The one on the left's where the water's coming from the backwater itself, and it's going to overflow across the road towards the boat ramp, and that's what the locals are saying. The road's going to be shut there very shortly. This is the backwater again, and it's certainly not an optical illusion, but when you're standing there looking at this and then you turn around and look at the river level around the boat ramp, there is a great difference in water level height. So the water coming downstream is being pushed here into the backwater, and there's the road there where it'll come over and meet the water that's around the boat ramp that's already out on its own and fully surrounded by water. We had heavy showers all day on and off Sunday, and it was the only day really that the rain played any significant part in dampening the celebrations of the weekend. The total rainfall that I recorded in my rain gauge, and my rain gauge is no official rain gauge by any means, but for the 4 days that we were at the Caravan Park, I measured 287 points. Now most of that fell on the Sunday, and I believe Berri wasn't very far behind Renmark. a little bit further upstream along the river, and Renmark recorded its highest single day of rain in recorded history. There was some minor flooding at the end of the roadway here within the caravan park, and if some people wanted to get out of their van or go to their motor vehicle, they were going to get wet feet, that was for sure. But I would assume that there was a blocked drain somewhere here that wasn't allowing the water to escape, but this was the only part of the park that was affected by the heavy rain that I was aware of. At 5:30 on Sunday afternoon, 2 food vans came in to cater for the crowd, and I think it was unfortunate that with the heavy rain that we had on the Sunday, that may have reduced the number of people that bought and ate from these food vans, but we did, and here's a small number of people that certainly did, and there was enough breaks in the rain that allowed people to go up and get what they wanted before they could return to their caravan or to the function room to share with the crowd. After everyone enjoyed their food from the food van, the final raffle draw was done for the weekend. Yeah, morning everyone. Well, this just about brings the trip here to the Berri Caravan Park and the Traveller get together for the 2022 year to an end. The weather's been a real mixed bag, but all in all I think it's been pretty good. Bit of a wet day today, and we head home tomorrow on Monday, but later on in the year when the River Murray peaks at its water flow, we might come up and do a bit of filming and just have a look and a comparison of what it's normally like and compared to what it's like now. So hope you've enjoyed the video, and until we meet again, you take care and look after yourself. Now Monday morning, and we're on our way home back to Adelaide, and still a little bit of water laying around on the road from the heavy rain that had fallen the day before, but all in all, it was a pretty safe trip home. If you like the video that you just watched, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button. And once you've done that, tap on the bell and change the notification to all. That way, every time we do uploads to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified.